Jai Shri Krishna. So today moon is in Magha Nakshatra in conjunct with Ketu, and today is a Friday. So I'm going to be talking something very important about clearing out a lot of misconceptions. Okay, and this is going to be about Rahu-Ketu again. This is a series of Rahu-Ketu videos because yesterday we had Ashadesha Nakshatra, which is also the energy of Moon Mercury plus Rahu. Today, Magha Nakshatra, it's Ketu plus Sun and Moon because Moon is in Ketu Nakshatra and Leo Rashi. All right. So, so I'm going to be talking about today about the misconceptions about the Rahu-Ketu eclipse and the visibility. Okay. The visibility part and, people who need to be worried about the eclipse. See, first of all, right, do click the like button, subscription button if you like it, share it with your friends and families, because my point is not about views or subscribers. My point is about to make sure that the power of Vedas, Hinduism, Vedic astrology reaches out to the maximum people. Considering today the world is in a bit of a chaos, war going on, forced conversions, right? In the Nashik case happening, TCS, Wipro, all of them, right? We need to bring an awareness to all the Hindus and people who follow Hinduism. That is my whole point, yeah? Okay. Because all this cosmic knowledge is in no other religion other than Hinduism. This is the fact. Sometimes we don't know what we have, right, as a jewel or a crown jewel with us, right? We don't know the value of it. We also don't know the value that we are born as a Hindu, and in India we don't know the value, but that is the truth. And I say within India there is 2 points, Kashmir and Kerala. These are the two very strong points as well. People who are born, they don't know the value. I also saw that currently right now Kashmiri Pandits are coming back to Kashmir, which is excellent, right? With all the things what the Muslims did back then again to the Kashmiri Pandits. Thanks, and I hope everything goes well for them. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah? Okay. Coming back to the thing, there are a lot of misconceptions. One, the Vedic astrology works only for people who are born in India or people who live in India. No, wrong misconception. Okay, there is a wrong misconception I've heard from several people who say that the Vedas, everything is done only for people in India. I don't agree with that. Okay, I don't agree because it matches everything to what I've done for people all over the world. I have clients. Yeah. And I also live outside India, and so it is also working for me and to all the clients who have done consulting as well, right? And predictions or whatever you want to call it globally. So that is a misconception. Just because people don't know how to answer questions, it's a very convenient answer, okay? Which is fine, but I have to, it's not about, I always like people who do good things about Hinduism, astrology, etc. But at the same time, sometimes people give wrong answers. That is what I want to clarify. Second, there is this misconception that many people will tell you all along, oh, the eclipse is there, it is not visible in the part of the world you are in. So it doesn't affect you, okay? This is a second misconception. This is a very big misconception. Oh, the solar eclipse is not visible, right, in that part of the world where you are living. So you're okay with it. Let me tell you a couple of things. It's not. I'll give an example why. First, you have to understand why they are saying it. Why solar, why that the part of the world you're there, the solar eclipse is not visible. Okay. First, you have to understand which is the most difficult eclipse. Solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. Solar eclipse. Not lunar eclipse, solar. Why? Sun. Sun is at the center. Sun is at the center of the Navagrahas. Sun is center of the universe, the whole grahas as well. Watch my videos on heliocentric, geocentric. I also publish several videos even right now. The Vimshottari Dasa, 120 years, I have also published. Okay, watch those videos. Now coming back, Sun and Moon together, conjunct, and Rahu or Ketu comes in, that is a solar eclipse. Okay, Sun and Moon together, conjunction, and the degrees has to be 12 degrees. That is important. Even they can be in different rashis, but 12 degrees. The Tithi, right? The Tithi. That is the most important thing. Tithi calculation has to happen. Okay, even if they are in different rashis. At the same time, Rahu has to capture or Ketu has to capture Sun and Moon. Okay, all right. You have to look degrees when you come to specifics. All right. First thing. Second thing, okay, second thing is why they say, when solar eclipse is always associated with Sun and Sun Moon conjunction with Rahu or Ketu. It doesn't have to be only Rahu, it doesn't have to be only Ketu. It can be either one. Okay. Next is lunar eclipse is Sun with Rahu, Moon with Ketu, opposite to each other. Again, degrees will matter. Or Sun with Ketu, Moon with Rahu, either one. Okay. So wherever Rahu goes, that is where the biggest problem is. Okay. Rahu is like complete. That is why Naisarika Bala Rahu is the most strongest planet. Okay. Now, suppose we'll talk about solar eclipse. Sun and Moon are conjunct and Rahu is joint. And the eclipse is happening by degrees. Now, people will tell you, oh, you don't need to worry. You don't need to worry because it is not happening in your part of the world. Because the way they say it is because whenever Sun and Moon and Rahu are conjunct in this case, for example, the eclipse is happening. Okay, so what is Sun? Sun is day, sunrise, light. So when will it be visible? At peak at sunrise. So you have to see wherever the sun is rising, right? Wherever the sun is rising, the light is coming. At that time, the block is happening. So the visibility is happening for that part of the world. Okay, the visibility is happening that part of the world. That is why they're saying it. But it's a misconception. You don't go by visibility alone. See, okay, visibility wise, I agree on that part. But oh, you don't need to worry because you are in this part of the world where it's not visible. Okay, so the eclipse is always powerful. The solar eclipse is powerful when it is happening at the sunrise. The Grahan's eclipse, the Rahu-Ketu are powerful at the time of the same thing. Okay, when sun is exactly coming at the advent of sunrise. Same thing, the lunar eclipse is happening and it's more powerful when moon is rising at sunset in the evening time period and the eclipse is happening. Okay, daytime sun, evening nighttime is moon. So it's a balance. Okay, so is that clear? So one is only visible part. Okay, visible part. The visible part, I agree on that part. But they tell you don't need to worry. No. Here is why I don't agree with them when they say you don't need to worry about it because you are in this part of the world. You are still living in Earth. You are still controlled by the 9 planets. Okay, you still have a Mahatasa running. You still have a Janma Nakshatra. You still have the 12 Rashis, 12 planets, right? Somewhere it is happening. So how can you escape? How can you escape? I'll give you an example. Okay, I'll give you an example. When the time comes for voting, okay, when the times come for voting, we had votes in India recently, so I'm going to give that example. When the time came for voting, all the people in India voted. Most of the people, not I'm saying everybody, most of the people who are Indian citizens living outside India came to India to vote. Still that happened, even though they were not living in India, and they are not living in India. They were and they are not. But they came. So you cannot exclude them. Just because you're not living in India, that your vote doesn't count, but you are still an Indian citizen. So you are still connected with India, indirectly or directly, for voting or any of those things. Right? Same thing. You just cannot say that you are out of India, even though you are living out of India, unless and until you change your citizenship. In that case, you cannot vote. But you're still connected, even though you are an NRI, non-resident Indian. Yeah? Understand some basic concepts with this. Same thing, even though you are not visible at the time, you're not living at the time where the eclipse is happening, but you're still controlled, but that energy is still controlled. That is the point. Ask, so here's the proof, right? Ask all the people who are moon with Satabhisha Nakshatra. Ask them. Ask the moon with Satabhisha. They will actually tell you how hard and difficult it is. Okay? They will tell you how hard it is, difficult it is for them. Why? Because Rahu is sitting in Satabhisha Nakshatra for a long time. He's been sitting in Satabhisha Nakshatra. Okay? Because Rahu, darkest energy, Ketu dark, Saturn dark. And they sit on a nakshatra which is like a LED, light emitting diode. They create darkness. There's no light. So whatever is your moon nakshatra, right? So if your moon in Satabhisha, you will find it difficulty. It would be nightmare. Go ask any moon in Satabhisha nakshatra. Tell them, ask them for the last 6 months or so how hard it was. 9 months, even go back. Before that, Saturn was sitting. A little bit, a couple of years ago. And then next Rahu's come. Saturn moves from Satabhisha, Purva Bhadrapada, Uttara Bhadrapada. Now he's gone to Revati. Rahu came reverse. Revati, Uttara Bhadrapada, Purva Bhadrapada, Satabhisha. I'll tell you a very interesting statistic if you want to understand a little bit about this. How Rahu is the most powerful. Okay? How Rahu is the most powerful. Again, statistics will always prove a point. Okay, the proof is in the pudding. If you're watching my video, if you're watching my channel, go back, go to my channel here, in this channel right now as we speak. There are 27 nakshatra videos I've published. I've literally published at least two for all the planets, all the nakshatras, my mistake, all the nakshatras. For Revati nakshatra, I think I would have put 3. Okay, and then Saturn transit on Revati, etc. I would have put. Go watch and just see the summary. See which nakshatra has the highest viewership. See which nakshatra. You will find your answer. I'll give you the answer right now, but you will go validate it for me. It is Satabhisha nakshatra. Why? Rahu is sitting. Wherever Rahu is sitting, that is where the power. Rahu is right now sitting in Satabhisha. Saturn will create problems slowly, like taking a small needle and pinning it. Where Rahu sits, right? Eclipse. Okay? Rahu has to get out of the nakshatra Satabhisha for them to see the better results. Go see the summary, see the viewership. Then tell me why Satabhisha has got the highest than anybody other nakshatra. Because who is sitting? The serpent king, Sarpa. This is where Rahu is powerful. Rahu is so powerful, guys. This itself will tell you as a proof in the pudding. All the 27, why only Satabhisha has to be the highest? It is already a difficult nakshatra. I agree, like Ashalesha, like Jeshta, whatever it is. That is fine. But who is sitting in Satabhisha now? Rahu. Saturn is sitting in Revati. Even Revati is just entered Revati now. Yeah. So you will see the views going up now. But wherever Rahu sits, that is the karma and the difficult part. If you understand about Rahu, you can crack Vedic astrology. That's my answer. Only Rahu is enough. Rahu is a master. You cannot get Rahu. Among all the 9 planets, the 8 planets started reporting to Parvati. Rahu refused. Rahu was the last planet, the 9th planet to come and report to Parvati. Before it, he was reporting to Lord Shiva. Because he did not bow to Parvati, Shiva. Eventually, he agreed and he took her as the lordship from a reporting structure. Coming back. Rahu and Ketu, invisible planets, shadow nodes, right? They are acting as a mirror. think about a person walking in a straight line like this or going, okay, and he's crossing. The shadow may not follow the same path. The shadow may even show the person is going like this on a wall, but he's technically not doing it. He's going this way. That is the beautiful thing about shadow. The shadow doesn't follow the true path of a image. Okay, it doesn't need to follow the true path, right? It doesn't need to do that. And that is Rahu-Ketu. It'll feel like it's going like this and all it'll do, right? So this is the whole thing, okay? There is a fine line between astronomical reality, as you see in the image picture, and the astrological reality of Rahu-Ketu. None of the globally, none of the civilizations or none of the countries mapped Rahu-Ketu as the right way as Indian civilization and Hindus. Even NASA has agreed to it. Okay, NASA has agreed to it. They also couldn't come to Rahu-Ketu. It's very difficult. NASA has agreed. I have a transcript about that also, where NASA said like Indians have got it absolutely bang on. So Rahu-Ketu is invisible. Okay, like coming back to the old point, Moon in Satabhisha Nakshatra. Ask the people, they are living in India, US, UK, Europe, Africa, South America, Central America, Hong Kong, Thailand, Singapore, you go anywhere through the world, they will have the difficulties. It doesn't matter whether eclipse is happening or not. At that time where they're able to see the eclipse or not, Rahu is sitting there. That is enough. The eclipse visibility, right, is a whole different thing. As I explained to you about the voting system in India, the citizens in India versus the NRS coming to vote, they all come. So the Rahu effect will be seen regardless of where it is. That is my point. Regardless of where it is, wherever the eclipse effect will be visible, will be seen on the individual. Okay, what you don't see, and you have to also understand the key point of learning. Rahu-Ketu itself is a planet which is invisible. They're not seen. When they are not seen, their energy is ultraviolet and infrared. Ultraviolet for Rahu and infrared for Ketu, right? Within ultraviolet, you have three: UVA, UVB, and UVC. UVA, UVB is what we can at least address. This UVC spectrum is there. It is difficult to address by like sunscreens and lotions, right? It's difficult. You cannot address anything with that. It's only UVA and UVB. Go and see out the ultraviolet spectrum. There are three parts to it. I know because I work in the fashion industry and we do a lot of things around swimwear and stuff, specifically with ultraviolet coatings. Yeah, okay. So then, same thing, Ketu, infrared. Now, coming back again, the Rahu-Ketu is invisible. The light spectrum is invisible. And Naisari Kabbalah, they are the strongest. They don't have any house ownership. They act as a nomad, right? And they're only visible during eclipse time. Moon is crossed towards Ketu now. Moon is conjunct with Ketu right now. You don't see an eclipse because sun is not captured the other side Rahu. Beautiful, right? Sun and moon has to be caught. Science wise, we say, right, earth, moon, shadow, right? Earth, moon, sun, earth comes in between, shadow. It's all explanations. But where is the ultraviolet and infrared coming then, if that is the case? Why is UV has to damage the UVC spectrum? UVA, UVB is also not, a healthy one. So break down the misconception that, oh, eclipse is happening in the sky and it is not visible in my area, so I don't need to worry. It's a total misconception. It is invisible light. It can go anywhere. It has got the power because of Rahu and Ketu, the two most strongest planets. Second, and then on top of it, you also have to understand the sunrise, wherever it is happening. I will agree on this. Wherever sunrise is happening, eclipse is happening at the same time, that particular area, it will be the strongest. But that doesn't mean other parts of the earth is not affected. Everywhere it will be affected. People, individuals, right, who's got at that time of that nakshatra eclipsed, wherever you're living in the world, you will see the problem. Don't tell me you're not affected or afflicted. It will happen. Okay, you're still in Earth. Earth still has 360 days as per Vedic calculations, as per Western 365/25. It is not that you are living in Mars that your number of days and your hours are different. It is not the case. It is not the case. It's the same. So you are still in Earth. You're still influenced by the magnetic pole, gravitational pull of the moon. Everything is influenced. These are all misnomers. These are all things people cannot explain. So they find convenient excuses, unfortunately. But it's also the fact you have to understand astrology deep and, deep. Otherwise, you cannot crack the code. Yeah. So that is one of the reasons in those days, whenever eclipse is happening, our, Vedas and Puranas, our parents, grandparents said, take a shower, don't eat old food, don't eat water during the eclipse, etc. The eclipse time is peak around 3 hours 45 minutes, typically 3 hours 45 minutes. So it's going towards eclipse, the peak, and then coming out. So when you take the center, which is an hour 45, center, an hour 45 before, an hour 45 after, approximately 3.5 hours, that is the eclipse peak time. Yeah, approximately. So in a way, right, the moon and moon nakshatra is connected back to the eclipse. Where Rahu sits in the Rashi, it's going to create a problem. But which nakshatra is sitting creates the biggest problem. Same thing with Rahu, Saturn and Ketu. Why? Because the moon nakshatra triggers Vimshottari Mahadasa. Moon nakshatra is you, your personality. I have done, moon nakshatra and 27 videos, almost two videos of each of the nakshatra. When what and all I have said aligns, this also will align. Moon nakshatra decides everything. Your transit also it decides. Right? Your transits, your Vimshottari Mahadasa, right? Your Sampatara, your Navatara systems comes from nakshatra again. Everything comes from moon nakshatras. So moon and moon nakshatra is such an important thing, right? Rashi is something what you see external, nakshatra is internal what you are. That's the difference. I'll definitely do a video on that as well. But I hope this was helpful, guys, and I hope this was clear. Do share your comments in the comment section as well. Okay? Do share the comments in the comment section. One last thing before I go. During eclipses, pretty much all the temples in India are closed. There are only few temples which are open. Like Kalahasti is a temple which is open. Okay? Most of the temples, the Garbhagriha will be closed. Okay? Which also shows the power of eclipses. When Saturn comes, right? Saturn comes and does anything, Garbhagriha and all is not closed. But Rahu-Ketu comes, that Garbhagriha is closed. That is a whole process what they follow to do the cleansing after the post-eclipse. Temples follow that. Again, this also shows a very important thing about the power of Rahu and Ketu. Not even Saturn here. None of the other 7 planets, right? They close the Garbhagriha. Only with Rahu, Ketu and eclipse. Yeah. Some Shiva temples are open. Kalahasti is open, I know that. But otherwise, pretty much everything is closed. It is because in science, we call it as ultraviolet and infrared rays. That's what we call invisible spectrum. All right. I hope this was helpful. Share your comments in the comment section. I will see you soon in another video. Jai Shri Krishna. Om Sarpabhyo Namaha. Om Nagaya Namaha. Om Pitrubhyo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna.